I'm going to start by taking a couple deep breaths. Filling the lungs on the inhale, deep breath in. Lengthening the breath just a little bit. And a full breath out. Lengthening the exhale. And just take a couple more like that. Using the exhales to drop you down into the space of the body. So feeling this awareness of your attention moving from the head space down and into the center of the body. And notice how that feels. After you've taken your deep breaths, let that go and just allow the breath to be natural. Without manipulating or changing the breath in any way. Allow it to rise and fall, to move in and out of the body spontaneously. We'll take a moment here to set up our posture. So moving your attention down into the pelvis and feel the sit bones making contact with the ground. Feeling the sit bones as if they were plugging into the earth, connecting you into the earth. Feel into that connection through sensation, through the sensation of the body making contact with the ground or with whatever you're sitting on. And then maybe also feel the legs or the feet making contact. Feel the pressure there, the downward moving energy that's stabilizing the body and that's connecting us to the earth. Dropping the mind down into the lower part of the body by way of sensation. And then moving your attention up along the spine, bringing a sense of lightness along the spine as you find a straight spine, good posture. Bringing the shoulders over the hips. And then as you do that, see if you can release any tension around the hips, in the front of the hips, in the lower back. As you find that sense of alignment along the spine, with the rib cage floating above the pelvis. So we're bringing the body into a position that allows us to hold the spine straight with as little effort as possible, releasing any unnecessary tension. Where do you need to hold the spine? How do you need to hold the pelvis in order to come into that space? And drawing the chin back and down a little bit to feel spreading at the base of the skull. As you keep rising up through the crown of the head. Relaxing the shoulders. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. In the throat. Perhaps bringing the tip of the tongue to the space where the back of the teeth and the roof of the mouth meet, and allowing the rest of the tongue to relax away from the roof of the mouth. So you can feel a sense of release down to the root of the tongue. And then holding the experience of both the connection to the earth, that heaviness through the lower part of the body, at the same time as you hold this sense of lightness along the spine, opening across the heart, release through the shoulders, holding both of these experiences at the same time. How does that feel without intellectualizing it or labeling it or creating story for it? Just feel into that experience of being connected to the earth, but also open at the same time. Allowing the breath to rise and fall within that experience. Watching the breath as it rises and falls. If you need an anchor to place the attention on, feel into where the breath is most obvious, where the sensation of the breath is the easiest to feel into. Perhaps it's the nostrils, maybe the rim around the nostrils. Perhaps it's the heart space, the rib cage. Maybe it's lower in the lower belly. Maybe it's in the shoulders, the way the shoulders are moving with the breath. So just choosing an anchor for you, for yourself. A place to bring the attention back to whenever you notice the mind start to wander. Bring the attention back to your anchor to connect back into the breath rising and falling within the space of the body. If at any moment the mind wanders, if you notice the thoughts moving, creating stories, just noticing them for what they are, thoughts. And gently bring your attention back to your anchor, back to presence, through the movement of the breath. And do that as many times as you need to. Again and again and again. Every time you bring the attention back to your anchor, you're strengthening a new pathway back to presence. Feeling the sensations of the breath moving in and out. The breath rising and falling naturally without changing the breath. Noticing if any tension has come up. Releasing the tension behind the eyes and the throat and the shoulders. maybe in the front of the hips or in the lower back. See if you can release. And then release again. Relax again. And then returning the attention to your anchor. Observing breath and observing sensation as it is, without adding anything onto the sensation of good or bad, painful or pleasant. And if those labels are there, notice that. Notice the mind's tendency to categorize and assess. widening your awareness of the anchor. So expanding the anchor that you've chosen to include the whole body. Feeling the whole body with all the sensation rising and falling all at once. Feeling the whole body at once. As you continue to watch the breath, observe the movements of the breath. Now moving your attention to the space of the heart. Feeling into the center of the heart space. Feeling the sense of spaciousness from the center of the heart space, expanding out in all directions. Sense of limitless space, moving beyond the boundaries of the body. In this space, holding anyone you know who might be suffering. Someone that you love or someone that's easy to love. Can be a pet. Just holding them in this space of spaciousness that comes from the center of the heart space. And now holding here someone who also might be suffering, whose suffering you recognize. because it's a suffering that you've also experienced. But this time of someone who's not so easy to love, maybe someone who pushes your buttons, or you butt heads with, or maybe you have some sort of disagreement with, someone who's not easy to love. Recognize how they might be suffering. And hold them in the space of the heart. Now holding yourself in the space. Recognizing a unique way that you've suffered recently. Hold that suffering in this space of the heart. And just let it be there without pushing it away or wishing it were different. Simply hold your suffering and yourself in the space of the heart. As you continue feeling this space expanding out in all directions beyond the limits of the body. And finally, holding all beings in this space, all sentient humans, animals, all living beings, holding them. We'll finish with an Om together. You can join or just listen. Whenever you're ready, you can blink open the eyes.